Welcome to East Point Lahash for our meeting. We're going to start off with a roll call. Let the record reflect we have 5 councilmen present. Ms. Cooper, I think, is running a little late today. Mr. Turner also. Mr. Bieris and Mr. Hinckley will not be attending today. We'll start off with our prayer. Ms. Lapine, if you...
We take this moment to acknowledge Almighty God and thank Him for our bountiful blessings, especially for these parish natural resources. We give thanks to God for our brave and courageous men and women in our military, who daily risk their lives to protect our freedom, precious freedom, and we pray for our world leaders to know how to obtain world peace. We also pray that this government body, comprised of both council and administration, will always serve our parish with honesty, humility, and equality to all. And as this government body gathers here today, we pray for the wisdom to know right from wrong and the courage to do that which is right. Amen.
Amen. Mr. Gruntz, if you lead us in a pledge. The flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I don't have a mic.
If y'all can indulge me for 1 minute, I'd like to let y'all know we're still working on this Biggert Waters Flood Insurance Act. We had some of the parish presidents. I attended a meeting yesterday. We got Jim Donnelly, the insurance commissioner, who really wasn't looking on our side too much, and we're trying to sway him to back us in our efforts to try to come to some kind of adjudication with this and maybe some statutory change. So it's still an ongoing effort, and I want to let everybody know we haven't given up yet, and everybody's been working on it very diligently. Okay, status report by parish president. Do we have anything? Okay. Bids and advertisements.
There's a button on the bottom.
Hello.
That we need to dispose of. I just got on. It's my recommendation that we dispose through the surplus of equipment and vehicles through public auction, and have Henderson will pick up and dispose of the surplus and junked equipment on a periodic basis.
Ms. Brenda, the only question I had, do we have any kind of list of what this equipment is?
In my office, I always have a running list of what is going to auction, what went to auction, and what we have now, and what we have in the past received from the auction.
When were y'all planning on having this stuff auctioned?
It's varied. Like last year, we had 3 different auctions. We had a March, May, and November, and we had March of 2013 this year.
Okay, so we have time to work on this? I mean, we're not on a timeline right now on this.
No,
Reason I'm asking is I was wondering if is it possible you could provide the council with a list of the equipment?
I have it here, yes.
I mean, so could we pass over this today?
Sure.
And then you had this list for us, we could look over it and go ahead and vote on it next meeting. Would that be okay with you?
That's fine.
Sound all right, Scott? Okay. All right, thank you, Ms. Brenda, I appreciate it.
Okay.
So we're gonna pass over this item. Beer and liquor licenses, Mr. Griffin?
I have none.
I have one, Beers Volunteer Fire Department is applying for a one-day permit to sell alcoholic beverages of high and low alcohol content at a community function cruising the Delta Car Show at Fort Jackson from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And this will be on August 31st, starting at 11 o'clock to 6 and ending same date. Mr. Edgecombe? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna propose this, ask for a second. Second, Mr. Edgecombe. Any comments or questions? Machines open on alcohol permit. What's going on here? And the permit is granted. Thank you, gentlemen. Okay, 4A1 I'm gonna pass over for right now. 4A2, Phillips 66 Alliance Refinery, Phillips 66 Refinery installed two 96-inch diameter steel pipe monopiles for repair and reinforcement existing product dock number 1. Hellas Oil and Gas LLC, Black Bay Field, installed 10-inch saltwater disposal pipeline. 4A4, Hellas Oil and Gas Company LLC, Black Bay Field, installed 8-inch saltwater disposal pipeline. 4A5, Apache Corporation, Southeast Pass Field, plug and abandon 7 wells and remove all associated structures. 4A6, Apache Corporation, Main Pass Area, Blocks 5, 8, 91, 92, and 103, plug and abandon wells, remove and abandon flow lines and all other structures. Stephen P. Adams, High Ridge Marina, Port Sulphur, repair existing bulkhead. 4A10, Hillcore Energy Corporation, West Bayfield, install 4-inch and 6-inch pipelines. 4A11, Hillcore Energy Company, West Bayfield, install 4-inch and 6-inch flow lines. 4A12, Hellas Oil and Gas Company, LLC, Southeast Black Bayfield, install 3-inch gas lift line, 4-inch flow line, and refurbish or replace well protected structure if needed. 4A13, Apache Corporation, Southwest Pass Area, maintenance strategy and work over 2 wells. 4A14, Swift Energy Operating LLC, Lake Washington Field, install 6-inch flow line. 4A15, Apache Corporation, South Pass 24, install power clusters, drill state lease 1923 well number 31, and install wellhead protector. 4A16, Eustace Engineering, Sports Marina Road Venice, perform 5 CPTs. 4A17, Apache Corporation, South Pass 24 field, maintenance strategy and wheel wash existing slip end, work over well. 4A18, Texas Petroleum Investment Company, Breton Sound Area, Block 22, install 3-inch flow line and 2-inch gas lift line. 4A19, Texas Petroleum Investment Company, Breton Sound Area, Block 22, install 3-inch flow line and 2-inch gas lift line. 4A20, James Hill, 724 Morton Lane, Port Sulphur, install 8 by 20-foot dock. 4A21, Hillcore Energy Company, West Bay Oil and Gas Field, install 3-inch and 4-inch flow lines. 4A22, Apache Corporation, South Pass 24 field, maintenance strategy existing slip and work over well, subsequent maintenance wheel washing events over the next 5 years following the initial maintenance strategy and lower existing pipeline. 4A23, Hellas Oil and Gas, Black Bay Field, remove debris and rebury existing flow line around existing pump platform. And 4A24, Louisiana Fruit Company, 117 McDermott Road, Venice, install bulkheads and tiebacks. So we'll be voting on global on 4A2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, pull 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. I'm going to offer these and ask for a second. Second by Mr. Edgecombe. Any comment or question? If not, the machine is open. If I can find mine. Yeah, but do we want to let them block off the fire? All right, these are grand. I'm sorry, Miss.
You pass it over, 820, or you not considering it?
We don't have a quorum to vote on that one, so I'm just gonna pass over for the time being. Okay, these are granted 5-0. Okay, we're gonna pass over 4A9, 4A20, 4A8, I think we're gonna defer that one for today. And 4A1, we're gonna pass over for the time being. Okay, construction permits. Ms. Audrey?
You said you're deferring 4A8? Or you gonna pass over it until Councilman get here? He's requested that you pass over it until he gets here?
Right now, we're passing over it.
Okay.
Let the record note, Ms. Cooper's joined us. Good afternoon, Ms. Marla. Yes, sir. She want to do it then? Okay, so 4B is going to be deferred. Mr. Griffin, 4C. A resolution approving the issuance of a trailer park permit to United Bulk Terminals, the van for the operation of a new trailer park located in MH Mobile Home Park zoning district on 15015 Highway 15, lots 1 through 40, Devant, Louisiana, all in accordance with application number TP-2013-36, dated June the 3rd, 2013. Mr. Griffin, are you offering?
Offer.
I'll second. Mr. Griffin?
Moved the permit process, I think it was at the last council meeting, and I have spoken with Mr. Tyrone. Anybody from the electrical, United Bulk here? Well, it's not so, and they're in the process of getting this thing organized, and the trailer park is going to accommodate some employees that's having some financial problems who lost their home during Hurricane Isaac. It also accommodated, they're in the process of establishing an $80 million project over there at the United Bulk Terminal, and they're going to need some accommodation to accommodate some of the contract people. They need probably 5 trailers to do that. So this process will make things that much better for United Bulk to proceed with the projects and accommodate the employees at the same time.
I'm good. You have any comment or question about this? Machine's open. Give me a second, Mr. Wood. Ms. Cooper? United Bulk, okay. Okay, it passes 5-0.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
Permit Department asked that
Thank you.
I take up this item that wasn't in the packet for a fire stand renewal in District 4. If you could distribute those, I'd like to take that up today.
Give me a suspension on this one.
Need a suspension.
Okay, Dr. Goui's asking for a suspension of rules to take up an application for fireworks stand renewal. You're offering that, I'm a second. And this is going to be a vote on the suspension only. Okay, rules have been suspended.
I'd like to move on the permit application, sir.
Okay, Dr. Goui.
Fireworks stand renewal.
This is for Mr. Paul Tozan at 9433 Highway 23, Baptiste, Louisiana. You're offering, I'll second. Dr. Gui?
Yep, everything's in order. He came in, filed a permit yesterday, and they didn't have a chance to get it to us.
And this is something previously existing, we're just renewing? Okay. No complaints or nothing like that? Okay. Any comment or question about this one? Machine's open. And it's granted 6-0. Okay, let's go to, are we doing this proclamation today? Ms. Cooper, you doing this proclamation today? You want to do it now? Here, you want to read?
A proclamation declaring July 7, 2013 as Madeline Mackey Taylor Day in the parish of Plaquemines. Whereas Madeline Mackey Taylor was born on July 7, 1913 to the late Thomas Mackey and Antoinette Henry Mackey. She is one of 13 siblings, of which only Ethel Mackey Ward is still living. And whereas Madeline M. Taylor married the late Saxon Benjamin Taylor on December 7, 1931, and to this union 13 children were born: Estelle T. Coleman, Bernadine T. Riley, Beatrice T. Prout, Wilfred Taylor Sr., the late Annette T. Smith, the late Carol A. Taylor Sr., Joanne T. Smith, Benjamin S. Taylor Sr., Stanley Taylor Sr., Norma T. Smith, Bruce Taylor, Roxanne T. Jones, and Celeste T. Green. Whereas she resided and still lives in Boothville, Louisiana. Whereas Madeline placed her membership at the Mount Olive Baptist Church under the late Reverend George Jones. She served as deaconess under the leadership of late John Taylor Sr., and she now serves as mother of the church under the leadership of Dr. Theodore Turner Jr. Whereas she's the oldest member of the Christian Minister Missionary Baptist Association of Plaquemines Parish churches. Madeline is the mother of 13, grandmother of 53, great-grandmother of 131, great-great-grandmother of 148, and now the great-great-great-grandmother of one girl. Whereas the Plaquemines Parish government, along with family and friends, would like to wish Madeline Mackey Taylor a very happy 100th birthday.
Ms. Cooper, your offering?
Yes, I'll offer.
I'm sure we're going to ask for a unanimous second. We have a unanimous second? Okay. Let's go ahead and take a vote on that. Thank you. And the proclamation is granted unanimously. Do we have anybody from the family here, Ms. Cooper? Just duly note if somebody comes in, let me know, okay? Okay. Okay, we'll move to item 5, introduction of ordinances and resolutions. Mr. Griffin?
I have one. Orders authorizing Plaquemines Parish Engineer Department to increase the cost of flood elevation certificates from $100 to $150 and otherwise to provide respect thereto.
One. A resolution authorizing the special counsel attorney, J. Kendall Rathburn, and the law firm of Dwyer, Cambry, and Suffren, or its designee, to send notice to the owners and the operators of, and take action to preserve and to enforce the council's rights and interests regarding permit issues relating to the properties of PTRW Trailer Park, also known as Liberty Lane Trailer Park, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto.
Thank you, Mr. Lepine. Dr. Gui?
An ordinance authorizing Willie Billy Nungesser Parish President to execute and enter into a lease agreement with Equiland, Inc. for the releasing of land situated in part of Section 9, Township 14 South, Range 25 East, west of the Mississippi River, Plaquemines Parish, otherwise known as the Ferry Batcher property, which is currently used for parish ferry operation, otherwise to provide with respect thereto. An ordinance authorizing William Billy Nungesser Parish President to execute and enter a lease agreement with First Equity, Inc. for the releasing of Square 38 of Belchase Town Site, Belchase, Louisiana, which is used for the parking for the Plaquemines Parish Annex and placement of one double-wide trailer and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. An ordinance authorizing William Billy Nungesser Parish President to execute and enter into a lease agreement for First Equity, Inc. and Equiland, Inc. for the releasing of land situated in part of Section 9, Township 14 South, Range 25, east, west of the Mississippi River, Plaquemines Parish, otherwise known as the Railroad Spur, which is currently fenced by the parish and used for parking by parish and 25th JDC court officials and otherwise to provide with respect thereto.
Thank you, Dr. Gouy.
I have two for Anthony.
You want to go and read them out?
Mr. Chairman, I have two for Mr. Burris. An ordinance to amend the 5-year capital improvements plan for the Extension Walker Road project and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. And also a resolution stating Plaquemines Parish Council's endorsement of Chevron Oronite Company, LLC, to participate in the benefits of the Louisiana Enterprise Zone Program.
Thank you, sir. An ordinance to amend the 5-year capital improvements plan for the repairs, Port Suffolk Water Plant project, and otherwise to provide respect thereto.
Those are just changes. Here's your introductions.
An ordinance to amend the General Fund 2013 operating expenditure budget, Road Maintenance Department, line item equipment, tractors, and mowers, and otherwise to provide respect thereto. An ordinance to amend the 5-year capital improvements plan for the living quarters, Port Suffolk Fire Station project, and otherwise to provide respect thereto. Is this being offered, Mr. Turner?
They were in your packet.
I'm gonna offer, this one's gonna offer Mr. Turner. An ordinance authorizing the parish president, William H. Nungesser, to accept on behalf of the Plaquemines Parish Government donation of $1,500 from Chevron and $6,000 from Phillips 66 for use by the Recreation Department. An ordinance to amend the General Fund 2013 operating expenditure budget, Coastal Zone Management Department, line item rental lease, storage space, and otherwise to provide respect thereto. An ordinance to provide for reestablishment of Regional Planning Commission to include the parish of Tangipahoa, jointly with the parish of Jefferson, Orleans, Plaquemines, St. Bernard, and St. Tammany. A resolution to amend, as amended, readopted resolution number 09-194 to provide for meals, reimbursement, and exceptional travel circumstances, and otherwise to provide respect thereto. A resolution authorizing and directing the parish president to employ, with the approval of the parish council, special counsel to represent Plaquemines Parish government and legal representation for any court of law and to render legal advice regarding enforcement of Plaquemines Parish Ordinance Number 12-238, the Bar Pit Ordinance, particularly with regards to Plaquemines Dirt and Clay LLC. You can read, Jeffs.
I have three for Mr. Edgecombe. The first one is the ordinance authorizing the parish president to continue the implementation of the Plaquemines Parish Coastal Plan using funds from the Coastal Bonding Initiative and granting permission to form land rights services, including conducting title research, preparing title reports, surveying, appraisals, and land acquisition required for the construction and maintenance of the Reach B2 Vegetative Ridge and Marsh Creation Project from Fort Jackson to Venice. An ordinance authorizing the parish president to continue the implementation of the Plaquemines Parish Coastal Plan using funds from the Coastal Bonding Initiative for engineering, design, permitting, surveying, and geotechnical investigation services for Cat Island East Restoration Project. An ordinance to amend the 5-year capital improvements plan for the Extension District 7 project and otherwise to provide with respect thereto.
Nothing, Ms. Marlowe? Okay. Let's move to our regular agenda. Sir? On which one, Marla? No, we can't do them all. Which one? Okay, we're gonna move back to 4A1, Louisiana Fruit Company, Grand Pass area. Drive 13 pounds across canal to impede boat access and install rock piles to prevent erosion. I'm gonna offer and ask for a second. Ms. Cooper? Second by Kurt, I guess, over here. Ms. Moeller, maybe you could tell us a little bit about this one real quick.
This is on Louisiana Fruit property, and it was bulkheaded off before and closed, and the bulkhead, I guess, washed away with the hurricane, and now the boats are using it as a shortcut. So they want to put the bulkheads and the pilings, whatever it is, to cut it off again.
And Ms.
I'm
Moeller,
okay
this
with
is not gonna impede any kind of navigation for the shrimpers
No,
or
it's not
commercial
gonna
fishermen,
impede any
anything?
kind of navigation, and they do have stipulations in one of these permits, I think from the state or a coastal permit or something I was reading, that if any future navigational things have to happen, that this Louisiana Fruit will be responsible to comply.
Yes, ma'am, I did read that. Do you have any comment or question about it? Hearing none. Machine's open. And the permit is granted 6-0. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Let's go to go back to 4A20. James Hill, 724 Morton Lane, Port Sulphur, install 8-foot by 20-foot dock. I'm gonna offer and ask for a second. Where's PV heads? No, we don't. Jeff can't vote on it. Where's he at? All right, let me pass over this one again then. Jeff, 6A1. Defer. We gotta wait, I don't have. Jeff can't vote on it. We don't have a quorum to vote on it. No, I was on Leo to show up and give me an answer on that one. Well, you ain't lying, this microphone. Okay, 6A1 is deferred. 6A2 will be deferred. 6A1 and 6A2, yes, sir. Okay, 6A3, do we have somebody here to explain this to us about the minerals? Six A3 is deferred. 6A4 is deferred. 6B is deferred. 6C is deferred. 6D, Mr. Edgecombe? 6D is deferred. 6E is deferred. 6F is deferred. What? I already said that. You want to defer that one? You want to defer to 6G, Ms. Janice? We have some work to do on that one? Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you. 6G is deferred. Okay, let's go to 6H. In order to amend the 5-year capital improvements plan for the building, sheriff's office, Port Sulphur project, and otherwise provide respect thereto. I'll offer and ask for a second. Second on Mr. Griffin. What we have here, gentlemen, is sometime last year, we moved back $4.3 million to rebuild the Port Sulphur lockup, which is direly needed in the lower end of the parish. What happened, the best I can explain this, is the previous sheriff over-designed, basically, the other facility to something around 16,000 square feet. We were only allowed 11,471 square feet. So FEMA is not going to pay for that building or the A&E design, A&E work or design on the building. So where we at right now is, you know, we're kind of at a crossroads here that we can not vote for this, and we are eventually going to have to pay this money back. I've been reassured by everyone, including FEMA, we are going to pay this money. So we can pay the money and get nothing, or we can pay the money and get a $4.3 million facility rebuilt in District 6 for the sheriff to use. I think it's pretty much of a no-brainer, and I appreciate your support for it. Do we have any comment or question? What you want to change it to, Ms. Shannis?
You have the funding source, general fund, you needed to change it to designated for sewer.
So we need to move a second, huh? Wait a second. Move your second, Mr. Griffin? Okay. Ms. Shannis again? I'm sorry. Line 13.
On line 13 and line 18.
Okay, we're gonna move, one of them says general fund, one of them says unreserved, undesignated. We're gonna change that to sewage? It's designated for sewer. And with that, I'll offer. Mr. Griffin seconds. Any other comment or question? Machine's open. And the motion passes 6-0. Thank you, gentlemen, ladies. 6I, I am going to, I think I'm going to pass over that just for now. Mr. Turner's not here right now. 6J and K is deferred. 6L, Mr. Griffin? Taxes on the BP money. Yes, sir. You want to go with it? And a resolution requesting the victims of the BP oil spill be exempted from taxes for any funds received by the commercial fishing industry from the BP settlement process or future litigation, and otherwise to provide respect thereto. Mr. Griffin, you're offering?
I'll offer.
I'll second. Mr. Griffin?
Yeah, what we have here is, we're asking that the parish and come together with some kind of resolution, even the state can exempt fishermen and business people in the fishing industry from the tax purpose. As we all know, BP has given everyone a short stick in selling their clams and whatnot, and a lot of these people are facing some kind of financial hardship. BP is still dragging their leg, especially with the deckhand fishermen by not selling their clams. So if we can get this done, I think it will at least ease some kind of financial burden on these folks, you know, where they can save, stabilize some kind of lifestyle with some of the money that they can recoup from this tax base.
And Mr. Griffin, we're asking for the state and the feds to do the same and relieve them of any tax duties. Okay. Do you have any comment or question about this, y'all? Not the machine's open. Oh, I'm sorry.
And I'll be present but not voting.
I'd like to get a clarification on what taxes are you trying to get them exempted from? You
Would
say
you-
parish taxes?
This is basically, no, there is no parish tax
Income
on this.
taxes?
It's federal and state taxes.
Federal and
Basically, it's a
state tax.
resolution just asking the parish and state to relieve them of any tax burden. Anyone else? Machine's open. We'll note that Ms. Cooper is present but not voting. Watch me throw this thing, y'all. You vote for me. And the resolution passes 5-0.
Thank you.
6M will be deferred. 6N will be withdrawn. 6O will be deferred. 6P is deferred. Thank you, Mr. Edgecombe. 6Q is deferred. 6R, Mr. Griffin.
Let's go.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the parish president to advertise for and fill 2 heavy equipment operator 1 positions available in the flood control department and otherwise to provide with respect thereto.
I'll offer.
I'll second. Mr. Griffin?
Yeah, what we have, you know, I've been speaking to the administration, and they're talking about a shortfall in personnel to get a lot of this work done. So we need to get out and advertise for these jobs. Even if we have to come back and get the civil service to even adjust the pay scale, the thing is we have to get people on board to start doing some of the ditch cleanup and some of this stuff to better enhance our drainage situation. So I offer.
I'm sorry, Mr. Griffin, thank you. Do we have any other comment or question about this matter? Hearing none, the machine's open. And the ordinance passes 6-0. Okay, this one was offered by Mr. Hinckley. I'm gonna pick this one up. A resolution amending resolution number 09-512, adopted December the 10th, 2009, conditionally approving the plan of re-subdivision of Tract 3D-1 of Section B of Balchase Plantation, amending said resolution to show that the re-subdivision of Tract 3D-1 is to be redeveloped in 4 phases. Dr. Gui, pay attention, we're gonna have a test on this after. 1A, 1B, 1C, and 1D. That Phase 1A shall comprise lots 1 through 53, lots 1V through 21V, and Lot 3H. That Phase 1B shall comprise lots 79 through 109. That Phase 1C shall comprise lots 22V through 41V, and Phase 1D shall comprise lots 56 through 78, all in accordance with plans of the Parks and Plaquemines, Phase 1 by Hugh McCurdy III, PLS dated May 31st, 2008, amended March 16, 2009, amended August 6, 2009, amended October 28, 2009, amended April 24, 2013, all without cost to the Plaquemines Parish government or the Parish of Plaquemines, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. I'm going to offer and ask for a second. Second by Mr. Griffin. Does anybody know anything about this? Give me an explanation.
Since I've been asked to pass the quiz, this is part of the initial plan for Parks of Plaquemines that was initiated in May of 2008 with amendments. It doesn't diverge from any of the original plans, and Scott, as far as the permit office is concerned, it's my understanding that everything's being done according to the original agreements we had with the Parks of Plaquemines.
Any comment or question? Not, the machine is open. And the resolution is passed 6-0. T and what? Okay, 6T and 6U be deferred. Thank you, Ms. Lapine.
Six V is going to be withdrawn, Councilman Maranovich.
6V will be withdrawn. And W? Is that the same thing?
Six feet had to do with us passing an ag law on tax, so we're gonna withdraw that one, but the next one is,
Is the payment?
yeah, the resolution authorizing to pay it from the current 2012 budget fund.
Do you have the money there?
I don't know, but this is just a resolution authorizing us, and then they should have the ordinance somewhere.
Of course not. That's what they leave me with. Let's check the machines. Right, let's go ahead and go with. Okay, we're withdrawing 6V. A resolution authorizing Plaquemines Parish Government to settle a matter entitled Dave and Carl et al. Versus Plaquemines Parish Government, 25th JDC number 38-058, Division B, and otherwise to provide respect thereto. I'll offer and ask for a second. Second by Dr. Gui. Can somebody explain to me if we have the, Ms. Janice, we have money for this? Where's it listed where the money's coming from on here?
This is the resolution, just doesn't approve.
Okay, I got you. Okay, I understand. Any comment or question about this one? Machine's open. And the resolution passes 6-0. Jeff, we wait on these camera stuff. We're gonna wait on this a little while, huh? All of them, the smallest too. 6X will be deferred. 6Y will be deferred. Huh?
No, it's not. One's both.
One shipyard, one's boat harbor. 6Z will be deferred. 6AA will be deferred. And Mario, I don't want to saddle you with this, but if we could have somebody from the mineral department here next time to give us some advice on some of these leases, it would be quite helpful. We could probably go through and decide which ones we want to reject or accept. I'm not trying to fuss at you, I just, you know,
Where are we? Where you at?
I got a bunch of them in here, and I don't know I can answer any questions.
No, you're right, if you accept it, once you accept it, you'll get rid of the rejected.
Yeah, but we don't know which ones to accept or reject. Nobody's here to give us any advice on it. Huh?
They're written properly, we just need some advice.
Yeah, I need to see some advice. Okay, a resolution authorizing Plaquemines Parish Community Agency to prepare the necessary applications to the Louisiana Department of Labor, receiving the Community Services Block Grant Funds for the program year 2014, and authorizing the President of the Plaquemines Parish Government to sign and submit said application and contract. I'll offer and ask for a second. Second by Dr. Gouy. I believe this is something we do pretty much every year, Ms. Shannon.
Yes, it is. This is for the assistance with the emergency funds, transportation, food assistance, such as that.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Shannon. Any comment or question? Machine's open. 6BB. And the resolution passes 6-0. An ordinance authorizing the parish president, William H. Dungesser, to accept a donation for reverse emergency calls operations and to amend the general fund 2013 operating revenue and expenditure budgets, Homeland Security, Emergency Preparedness Department, and otherwise to provide respect thereto. I'll offer and ask for a second. Second by Dr. Gouy. Basically, it's a donation from AEP River Operations to go toward reverse 911. I don't see a big issue with this.
Now,
Ms. Shannon?
this is just so we can put this in the revenue budget,
Thank
the
you.
$1,000.
Any comment or questions? Hearing none, the machine's open. And 6CC passes 6-0. We need to.
Scott can You ready? Scott can
Scott, 6DD.
You want us to put it on
Yeah,
tape?
this,
Wait. Yes, yeah, no, we want to go with it? Okay. In order to amend the 5-year capital improvements plan for the LDEQ compliance project and otherwise to provide respect thereto, offer and ask for a second. Second by Dr. Gouy. Mr. Lott?
this is to get us back into compliance with the DEQ. We haven't been doing any of the paperwork since Katrina, so we had a meeting with them this week, and we need to get on board before we penalize and fined.
Okay, and this is like a 5-year program or something? I think I read in a letter earlier.
Correct.
Okay. Any comment or question? Machine's open on 6DD. And the ordinance passes 6-0. Move to 6LL, a resolution granting use of the second floor conference room in the Port Suffolk Government Building to the Rotary Club twice a month for its meeting and otherwise to provide respect thereto. Mr. Edgecombe, your offering? Oh, you want to defer it? Okay, so we defer LL, we defer an MM, and we defer an NN. Is that correct? We'll also defer an OO. What is PP?
Yeah, we went, skipped E through L.
What is this? What am I reading? I?
Switching gears.
Something's out of whack here. Hold up, y'all.
Yeah, you want mine.
What did I skip?
E through LL.
Gee, whose are those, yours? Hang on to this, 'cause I don't know, mine's messed up here some kind of way. Okay, we deferring LL, MM, NN, and OO, okay? Okay, now, give me these, let me just do these real quick. We're gonna move back to 6EE, I'm sorry, y'all, we're jumping around a little bit. In order to amend the Road Maintenance Fund 2013 operating expenditure budget, public right-of-way maintenance department, line item, professional services, grass cutting, and otherwise to provide respect thereto. I'll offer and ask for a second. Seconded by Dr. Gui. I spoke to Mr. Nungesser last night. I had some qualms about this. I was worried about overtime for the parish workers. But I was assured that wasn't necessarily the issue. This will come back to the council for a final, final approval on any kind of contract Mr. Nungesser may make. We did suggest to him, and we would much prefer to have some of the local grass cutters, if we're not doing this for overtime, have some of the local grass cutters come in different districts with some advice from the councilman or recommendations therefore. So I didn't see a big problem with it. He said we're looking at probably about 4 months out of the year. This was a rough idea. I also asked him to make sure that the contract was not over 1 year at a time. That way we're dissatisfied, we could cancel it and take a different tack from there. You have any comment or questions, Lapine?
Mr. Lott, is this just right-of-ways, or is this levies too?
Just right-of-ways from Conoco 66 to Venice.
I'm not sure about that.
Okay, then that's what I'm confused. And now, does the sheriff office chip in too? I thought they had a group that we supplied machinery to them, and they cut right-of-ways.
That was in the past, last 3-4 years, the sheriff's office hasn't been cutting any grass to assist us.
They're cutting no grass to help us out?
Just recently, the prom department or the right-of-way crews just went back to the prom department. The sheriff did assist us at times when the recreation department or public maintenance department reached out to those guys. So they have helped us in the past, but going forward, I think that we need to have some type of proposal or some type of agreement between ourselves and the sheriff department about exactly what they're going to do if we're to provide them with equipment.
Okay, because it's a little confusing to me, because the sheriff actually has come to me and said that they're looking for new machinery. But is that, and they gave me a paper of list of projects that they're trying to do, and it's scattered through the whole parish. That's why I'm trying to find out what do they do, what do we do, and what do we do together, or how does it work?
Just recently, I spoke to the sheriff as well, and I did indicate to him that we do have that list, but please put in a proposal form so that we would all be on the same page, and Mr. Lott and myself, we can massage it, and along with the warden, to make sure that we're going to have a good proposal or draft to submit to you guys, and then we'll go from there.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
But there are also going to be some levy cutting too with this, from what I understand.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Huh? What I had read last night, let me see. It's not in here. Huh? What? Yeah, but that's not what, this is something totally different than we were told last night, and there's no caveats where it's coming back to the council. 6E.
Or insert the language into the ordinance, you can do that.
We can do that. I think so too, Ms. Cooper. Who put a second on here? Dr. Go with you? Remove your second? Okay. We're gonna pass over this one for a minute. Just to make sure it comes That's all we're looking for, that language, Ms. Cooper.
Well, whatever reason you want to defer it for, insert it in
Make
here.
sure it came back to us.
Okay, well, insert that in there, and if,
Okay, we're gonna pass over 6EE. Six FF. Ms. Janice. So that's what we changed it to, sewer? What do you see, 8 and what, Stuart? 8 and 13?
Where's that, 15?
That's it, huh? Okay. In order to amend the general fund, no. We change it too, huh? Okay, I'm gonna offer this with changes. An ordinance to amend the sewer fund 2013 operating expenditure budget, legal judgments department, line item judgments and damages, and card Dave, and otherwise provide respect thereto. The other changes will be on line 8, remove unreserved undesignated to sewer. Line 13, remove unreserved undesignated to sewer. Line 15, change general fund to sewer. And with that, I'll offer and ask for a second. I said 15, I did.
High Point people right there in the city.
Yes. I'll offer, Dr. Good, you seconding? Do we have a comment or question about this one? No comment, no question? Hearing none, the machine's open. What, I'm sorry, who? Desi, it doesn't, I can't hear it.
He wants a minute.
You okay with it? Okay. Thank you, son. That's it, Virgo, that's it? Okay, machine's open, y'all. Ms. Lapine? Kurt? It's okay. And the ordinance passes 7-0. Let the record note too that Mr. Turner's joined us today.
He wants to know if we can get access.
Huh?
He wants to know if we can move to access now.
Why? No, we're gonna go in order like we're doing.
Okay. I don't know. He had one, he was ready on it.
What?
This is what you want to do?
Who wants to do the 6 SS? Can we just go in order and just get this done? I'm doing pretty good so far.
This is an expenditure requires approval of the council. Is that more
We'll make it section 2, yes, sir. Okay, we're gonna move back to 6EE. I'm gonna offer with changes an ordinance to amend the road maintenance fund 2013 operating expenditure budget, public right-of-way maintenance department line item, professional services, grass cutting, and otherwise to provide respect thereto. The change would be, adding a section 2, any expenditure of funds under this ordinance shall require the approval of the council. And with that, I'll offer and ask for a second. Second, Ms. Lapine. Any comment or question about this one? Hearing none, the machine's open on 6EE. And it passes 7-0. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's yours. Okay. 6GG, an ordinance to amend the Public Health Fund 2013 operating expenditure budget, Animal Control Department, Line item supplies, field, and otherwise provide respect thereto. I'll offer and ask for a second. Second by Dr. Gui. Huh? You want to defer it? Move second, Dr. Gui, we are deferring it.
Mr. Chairman, I have a request that we move to SS.
Is somebody here or something?
Yes.
Okay. This is my email. We're going to move to item 6SS, a resolution approving and supporting FEMA's National Disaster Recovery Framework Strategy and otherwise to provide respect thereto. Mr. Turner, you're offering?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to offer with changes. I'm going to pass out the changes. And really the change is just that we're scratching through the word FEMA, the name FEMA, and just inserting the.
And then with that, you're offering?
With those changes, I'm offering.
I'll second. Mr. Turner, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, this is not a FEMA program or a FEMA project. This is was handed down at the national level, and it's not only for recovery but for security, many different areas. And it's just so happened that Plaquemines was chosen. Plaquemines and St. John's Parish were chosen as two parishes to first implement this program, this National Disaster Recovery Program. And it was a joint venture with FEMA, the state, many different agencies in the community. And at this time, I'd like for Ms. Angel or some of the NDRF, Ms. Tanya Pence, would like to hear from some of the steering committee members if possible.
Thank you, Councilman Turner, and good afternoon, council members. My name is Tanya Pence, and I have worked with the citizens of Plaquemines Parish in several capacities ever since Hurricane Katrina, and have seen the struggles of trying to recover over and over and over. Thus the reason that Plaquemines was given this opportunity from FEMA to think about, with the citizens and with the elected officials, what are the barriers and what are the opportunities. Over the months that we've done this program, we have had hundreds of conversations with residents and listened to what it is that they vision for their parish, what challenges that they face. And this has come together in a living strategy that you have before you. It's a way that their voice is heard. They are passionate about it. Last week, I had a conversation with Mr. Clarence Bartholomew, and his words were, I hope that this is adopted. I hope we're not let down. This is important to us. And so I would encourage you to think about that, to support this, to use this as a way to strengthen the community on all levels. It's also a way in which we can look at funding resources and bringing some creativity and some new opportunities around the areas that are listed in there: housing, economic development, tourism, family and social services, and infrastructure. So it's a very comprehensive view of the way that the parish has a need to recover and resources in which we can help that happen. So again, I encourage you to give it a look, support it, and allow the citizens' hard work to come to fruition. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Tanya.
Jim Woodard, 308 Avenue J in Belchase. Since your approval of the resolution earlier this year, the federal partners and state and local partners have put together a group of local citizens that have spent many, many, many hours preparing the document that you have before you today. It represents literally dozens of projects that have come about because of suggestions and requests by the citizens of this parish. That's a living document, and we expect that many, many more will come about because of this process also. We're here today to request that you pass the resolution to approve the strategy that we're giving you in this document so that we can continue the work that we're doing and so that we can begin to bring about not only the projects that we have already identified, but continue to seek other projects and bring them to fruition also. Any questions?
No, Mr. Wood, I would like to make a comment. I did read the original, I know Mr. Turner's actually taking the lead on this. I've attended a couple of the meetings. The first compilation I've seen of this had some rather odd things in it. I did read this in its entirety last night, and I found it's been well cleaned up. It's a lot of great ideas. The only thing I would like to mention to y'all and to keep on top of, and this council is doing already, is we really need to keep on top of this flood insurance issue. Because if this is not accomplished and it is not done, all of this is for naught. And anything else we do in this room is for naught. Levy work or anything else we're talking about today. Liquor licenses, levy permits, anything else. So I would ask you to please keep this in mind. But I would like to thank Mr. Turner for taking the lead on this. And I would like to thank all of y'all for coming in and taking the time to do this and bringing federal, state, and local agencies together to put this together. And I would encourage everybody to support this.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And it's also a living document, and so some branches of FEMA will be moving on to different projects. There will be a remnant left behind to continue to support us, and so I want to encourage each council member to personally engage Angel and different members of the steering committee.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. Anyone?
I'd like to say a few words on this. You know, when I met that regional director from Region 6 back in December, and he gave me a overcast of what NDR was all about. They didn't have a clue what the responsibility was going to be. So to choose Plaquemines Parish was really like choosing us as a roadmap to give them some direction. And Councilman Turner actually took the lead role in this thing, and he worked diligently to get it to the stage where it's at. And I just want to commend him and the committee people and the subcommittee people and Ms. Tina and everyone from NDRF for doing the job well done, because now what you have in this package is some kind of guide or some kind of roadmap that this organization can function on and move forward with. Because this was, I guess, an experimental tool for them. And this was supposed to tell them whether this organization was going to survive or whether it was going to die. And I think based on what's happening here now, is this organization actually has something that they can hold on to and move forward. Hopefully we won't have to go through another disaster, but wherever the disaster may happen, they can look back at Plaquemines Parish and say, we have a roadmap to determine how this organization will function to assist people that go through what we've been through.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. Any other comment or question?
Just would like to thank the council. Appreciate all the kind words and the support. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. Anyone else? Yeah, I second it. Any other comment or question? Machine's open. And it passes 7-0. And thanks again, ladies and gentlemen, for all your input and your help, and we look forward to working with you all in the future. We passed over 6HH. Mr. Turner, we're going to go forward with that one. The holiday was July the 5th. July the 5th holiday. A resolution declares Friday, July the 5th, 2013 is an approved holiday for Plaquemines Parish government employees and otherwise to provide respect thereto. Mr. Turner, you're offering?
I offer.
I'll second. Mr. Turner?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I think all of us as council members, regardless of whose name it's in, we try to help the parish workers when we legitimately can, and this is a case where it's a natural break, providing them that extra day, and so I'm just asking that everyone would support it. Also,
I'll just mention, Mr. Turner, this is just going to be, this is 1 year.
Yes.
We can look at this again in the future if it comes up again, correct?
That's correct. It's not something permanent. It depends on the timing. You know, if it's on a Tuesday, then we're not going to have, an extra day. It's just because of where it's falling. So.
And I think the state has already done something quite similar. I know Governor General did something.
The governor declared it a state holiday.
Correct.
Right.
So I'm good with this. Any other comment or question about this? Okay, Mr. Griffin, and we'll do it then.
You asked for a question. You should do it.
All right, let's do it. Machine's open.
That's right.
All right, y'all get extra day off, 6-0. If y'all can bear with me just 1 second.
Mr. Chairman, it didn't register. I did click the button, and so, no, I voted, it didn't register. She has me as a verbal. Thank you.
Oh. You're back? I had to do something.
Slow us down.
Just give me a few minutes if you want. Are you ain't lying? Don't-
We can take a few minutes, discuss it with them and sign again, and go through the laws, because I mean, legally, they've had since 1950, there's no state requirement that to make them move it now. What the parish can be become, yeah, the grandfather.
Let's do it.
Anything that's, they're online with that.
You read it that way too, Stuart? Let's do it. I am going to move back to 4A9, High Point Gas Transmission LLC, Fashion Bay, Grand Bayou, Lod, and Back Levee Canal, wheel wash, marsh buggy access and removal of 2 existing platforms, pipeline marker signs, pilings, bulkhead, and portion of an existing 8-inch pipeline to be removed, and another portion of the 8-inch pipeline is to be abandoned in place. I'm going to offer and ask for a second. Seconded by Dr. Gui. We've had some discussion with this. We have representatives of the company here. I don't know if we need to have a big discussion about this, but they're actually working on the project right now. They have some pipes suspended and stuff, so it's a liability to them. We had some concerns about the abandonment of pipe in place, but we've been assured by them, and it's in the permit, that if it becomes a danger or liability in the future, they are going to retain that liability. Am I correct, sir? When do y'all want to come to the mic? Just give us your name and address for the record, sir.
Yeah, my name's Terry Dugas. You want to know my address?
Just, what city? Give me a
Oh, okay, from Abbeville, Louisiana. You want
Okay.
my full address? You need it or
That's
no?
good enough.
Okay.
Mr. Terry, if we needed to come back for some reason and come back in and remove this pipe, I mean, that's not gonna be a big problem. And y'all assuring us in this permit that it's gonna stay buried 3 foot below the mud line.
It has to stay buried 3 foot below the
Okay, and
mud
if at any time it
If at any-
doesn't,
If at any time the line is found to be exposed or whatnot, it is still the requirement of the company to lower the line
okay,
to 3 foot of cover.
okay.
Right now, we have suspended line, and we're getting into the hurricane season, and that's what they're trying to avoid, more pipe getting suspended and actually, being more of a liability or, navigation issue.
I would just ask that you will work with us in the future if something does come up that,
Yeah, just let me,
keep open line of
just
communication
to
with
make
us.
it clear, what my role in this was actually, I did the permitting for, my company did the engineering and the permitting for High Point for Kinder Morgan.
Okay,
So, as far as for me speaking on behalf of Kinder Morgan and High Point, I don't think I'm in position to do that. I can just tell you what the permit says and what's
and
normally,
you
what's
pointed out to me,
normally
we did
done.
read it out, and it does say it in there, and there's some issues, because under the 1980 state law, they're required to move everything, but this pipeline has been in place since, you told me, 1957.
1957, yes, sir.
So, I mean, there's an issue that possibly, that
Right.
might not even apply, it might be a grandfather type issue.
Basically, the way, and we had a meeting yesterday with Coastal Zone, not even on this project, another pipeline. In 2 other parishes where we had another company doing the same thing. And it comes up every time you have an applicant, or every time we permit a project like this where we're actually gonna propose abandoning the line in place. The first thing Coastal Zone will do is, what year was the line installed? That's the first question that comes up. If it's prior to 1980, there's really nothing, there's nothing that binds the owner of the pipeline from actually requiring them to remove it. However, post-1980, once
gotta come
Coastal
out.
Zone, automatically, the only way it can stay in place is if you actually get written permission from the landowner. In some cases, if a line's been in the ground for 20-somewhat years, the landowner may feel, I'd rather you leave it there because I
Because it
feel you're
caused
gonna
more
do more damage to my property as opposed to, you know, to pulling it up.
Okay, Mr. Terry, thank you very much. Anyone have any questions, comments? Hearing none, the machine's open on 4.
And I guess what we were talking about is just the portion that you're leaving, that you're not removing. How much pipeline you're not actually removing that's going to be remaining?
You're leaving 19,000 feet in place.
I have the permit right here.
And I guess from a coastal zone standpoint, is there any concern about any future dredging, anything in that area where the pipeline might pose a problem in the future? Because once we approve it, then
One thing as far as when you go to remove the abandoned pipe, you have mitigation issues, and then you start disturbing our wetlands again, being that it's submerged into the soil.
Well, actually, there's the majority of the lines in open water. We actually, as a result of the removal of the line, we don't have any mitigation. We're not impacting any herbaceous wetlands at all with the removal.
And the other thing I want to point out to y'all, I mean, Mr. Terry pointed out to me, because I had some questions about it. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me reread this to you. It's going to remove 2,277 feet. They're abandoning 37,797 foot of 8-inch pipeline. But they are maintaining liability for the pipeline. If at some time a hurricane was to come through and push us on top of the mud line, they are going to have to come back in and push you back under at least 3 foot under, correct, sir?
Yes, sir. Likewise, if you'd have a levee lift project in the future, it is their responsibility
If
to.
there was some type of leakage or chemicals coming out of it, I mean,
Well,
they're responsible for that also.
They're gonna flush the line. That's all part of it. They're gonna flush the line and fill it with water.
Any liability factors, they retain liability for.
That's correct.
Anyone else? Machine's open. And the permit is granted 7-0. 6II will be deferred.
Mr. Chairman, under construction, can we go back to the ones we passed over, 4A8 and 4A20?
Okay, give me 1 second.
Okay.
6II, 6JJ will be deferred. What are you doing, 6KK? Jeff? 6KK will be deferred. Okay, now. We are on 4A20. James Hill, 724 Morton Lane, Port Sulphur. Install 8-foot by 20-foot dock. I'm going to offer and ask for a second.
I'll second.
Okay. Mr. Edge going to be present, not voting. I think it's just a dock in, I think it's in Mr. Turner's district.
Yes, Morton Lane, Happy Jack Lane on the other side of the levee.
Is there any problems with this?
Haven't received any negative feedback.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have anybody from Permit here?
Any comment or question about this one? Machine's open on 4A20. And the permit is granted 6-0, knowing that Mr. Edgecombe was present and not voting.
This one he was asking about. 4A8.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Cooper.
Okay, let's go to 4A8. We had passed over earlier. Stephen P. Adams, High Ridge Marina, Port Sulphur, repair existing bridge at High Ridge Marina. I'm going to offer and ask for a second. Mr. Turner?
I offer.
Well, I'll offer the rest. I'm saying I'm asking for a second.
Second.
Okay. Mr. Turner, if you want to fill us in on this, I think we had some questions from legal or whatever about grandfathering, about height difference. Mr. Edgecombe, I think we did somebody did some checking on it to find it with maybe 10 or 12 inches below the normal height requirement. But from what I understand, it was culverts on each side of this bridge, Mr. Turner, you were telling me about?
North and south. And so, yeah, it's not a navigable waterway that goes out into any open channel. It's the drainage canal. And this company, they're putting in a marina. The canal just on the other side of the levee has been dredged. And so they're trying to put in the infrastructure. They've expended dollars to enhance the property while in purchasing the property. And so this would be similar to, we can look at it from many different angles. One angle we can look at it from is the leases that we would renew and say, well, someone has invested $150,000, doesn't even have to go out for bid. Because they've made an investment, then we work with them. We make concessions. Another example would be if someone was applying for a permit for a home, house or trailer, and our ordinance says that you have to have a 7-foot boundary. Well, if it's 6 feet, then what happens is the permit office would get with that representative, and they would allow that leeway, and the representative would be able to sign a variance. And so my point is, we do make exceptions. In this case here, there's no harm after a company has made a major investment. Because if the height was the issue, now that's what the code says, but if the height was the issue, and if we're gonna make it a showstopper, just south of it, you have a culvert that's caved in, that a contractor caved in, and we haven't made the repairs to it. We don't plan to make the repairs to it. On the northern end, you have another set of culverts. And so the height, now you're talking 2.5 feet, and again, on the southern end, you can't get through it. So if the height was an issue as far as passage, then we would have a problem with the culverts that we have. And so because it's not a problem, the height is not an issue, it's only an issue because it's in the code, right? As a council, we have the authorization, we have the authority to make that exception. We have the authority. If we pass it by majority vote according to Mason's rule, then we're legit. And so I'm asking that the council would grant the permit because it doesn't cause any harm, and they've made a major investment, and they've invested in an area after Katrina, and there's no need to stop them. So I would appreciate your support on it.
Ms. Cooper?
I'm still confused, so what are we gonna, what are we gonna do the variance on? And I'm gonna support it, because I do know that, they purchased this, they wanna move forward with their project, and to me, this is economic development, and we should welcome them to go ahead and start their business. It would be different if it was something drastic, but like you said, Mr. Turner, every other meeting, we, grant permits, construction and whatever kind of permit, construction permits with variances.
And in this case here, they're not asking for a variance. I don't think a variance, let me check one thing in here. Let me see what engineering has said, because when they go to construct, when they go to actually do the construction and permit.
What now? This is a permit after the fact.
Right, the question was.
It's not completely complete, but it's
Well,
fairly close to completion.
let's have the gentleman come up to the podium.
Steve. Name and address for the record, sir.
Steve Adams with Terry's Oysters.
Mr. Adams, if you would, I'm being told that it's complete. Tell us where you are with this project and help us understand what's happening.
We We filed all the permits with the state, joint applications with Ms. Albertine Kimball in the state of Louisiana. We come back, my father-in-law got it, he thought that was the permit. He went ahead and did work on the bridge, was notified by Mr. Edgecombe that we needed to stop. Got a letter by the parish, said that we need to tear the bridge up. We had 30 days to tear it up. We go to the parish permit office, they said no. A construction permit has nothing to do with the structural engineering of the bridge. The engineering department is who has the final say-so on if the bridge meets the parish ordinance. All I'm trying to apply for is a construction permit to finish the bridge, just to finish it. If there's an issue with it, it would be taken up with the engineering department.
Here are a couple of concerns, and what I'm picking up from my colleagues. One is that the work was done without a permit, but what I'm hearing from you is that there was no intent to bypass or circumvent the government. It was a matter of you not knowing and thinking that, if I heard you correctly, that the permit approval that you received from the state, you thought that was sufficient. Did I hear you correctly?
That's correct.
It wasn't until someone intervened and said, no, you have to have a parish permit, stop work until you get the permit. Is that correct?
And we have done so.
Okay, so let me go a little further, because I think there's a part of what you're saying that's not completely correct, in my opinion. Okay. So, and let me just tell you where that is. When a permit comes before us, the engineering department, they give an approval, they give an up or down, and they let us know are there are conditions that needs to be followed. So I want to glance in here and see if the engineering department has signed off on this, and if the engineering department, has any problems with it. Give me 1 second.
While you mention that, Mr. Turner, before the parish permit office can do anything with any of these permits, a letter of no objection is needed from the Corps, am I correct? Okay. That's what I was talking about when I contacted Mr. Adams, as far as trying to help them expedite the permit through the Corps' office, because it's a pain to get permits from the Corps. And that's where I intervened at, because I was, sitting on CZM, all the permits come in front of CZM before it hits the council. And when you see a machinery being delivered and work to be performed, I called Mr. Shelley first and talked to him a little bit, and Mr. Steve is the contact person on the permit, so therefore I was talking with Mr. Adams. And that's how I got involved. And I didn't stop, the legal team stopped the work. Which they didn't get.
And so now, you're saying now that the parish has received the letter that was required from the Corps. So that step has been accomplished.
Where's that letter at?
Right here. In your permit.
Okay, because that's all I've seen here was still needs federal levee crossing approvals from Corps and state. We have that?
Mr. Chairman, if you look at the engineering department, their comments, initially, they did not approve it. Initially, on 328, they disapproved it. Evidently, the company made the necessary corrections, because now on 416, they came back and the engineering department approved it. First, engineering department disapproved it, and then they came back and said, okay, he's met the requirements and they have approved it according to the permit. And Mr. Adams, where you were mistaken in that it's not strictly up to the engineering department. The engineering department is a part of the permitting process, and it's in here, it's covered in here. And the engineering department has given their approval.
I don't believe the engineering department has any involvement as far as the structural of the bridge or anything else. They came to the office with questions in regards to the bridge. They were given information in the ordinance that the council had passed years prior. So they had the information that y'all, or not y'all as the council, but the previous council members had passed. That's where the engineer had got involved by giving y'all the information in regards to, what was on the books. Correct?
Right.
Yeah, that's the involvement the engineer had. But they don't, as far as giving them the permit to build and stuff like that, the engineer doesn't have that.
No, okay.
I'm just clearing that up. The engineer,
Okay.
the permit department doesn't give the permit, nor does our engineering department give a permit, for the construction of it.
Thank you very much. We're good. I think we have enough information on it. Again, the engineering department they've signed off on it. I haven't seen any other objections, and So, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move forward with it.
You ready? Okay, you may have a comment or question about this? You heard it, you? Okay. I'm gonna, note that I'm gonna be present but not voting.
We're missing someone from the table. Who we're missing from the table?
He voted already. The vote's
Okay,
counted.
all right.
Machine's open for voting, I'll be present and not voting. And the permit is granted 6-0.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. Thank you, Mr. Adams. Where the hell are we? I'm lost. Six FF we did. 6FF we did, right? Where we at? Did we do GG? HH, II, JJ, KK, and we at PP, you said? Okay. Mr. Edgecombe, 6PP. 6PP, would he defer at this time? Mr. Edgecombe, 6QQ.
Councilman Marinovich, can we go into executive session at this time?
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Got to vote on that too, right? Okay, I'm going to make a motion, we go into executive session. The agenda items will be Roberta Ward versus Plaquemines Parish Government, 25th JDC, case number 60-236, Division A, Council, and item 2 is going to be Carolyn Augustus versus Plaquemines Parish Government, 25th JDC, case number 59-997, Division A. Often asked for a second. Second by Dr. Gouy. It's for executive session only, y'all. And we go into executive session at 3:33. Come on, executive session at 12 minutes to 4, taking no final and binding action. We're going to move to 6QQ. Wait, where we at? PP? Where the hell is it?
PP was deferred 6QQ.
Okay, so we're on 6QQ, right? All right, okay, we're on 6QQ. Mr. Edgecombe? Well, I gotta read it first. Resolution authorizing Plaquemines Parish Government to settle a matter entitled Roberta Ward versus Plaquemines Parish Government, 25th JDC case number 60-236, Division A, and otherwise provide respect thereto. Mr. Edgecombe, you're offering. Do we have a second? Do we have a second? Second by Dr. Gouy. Mr. Edgecombe?
If anybody has any questions, I'd like to refer it to Mr. Mario.
Does anybody have any questions?
Mr. Chairman, we normally just state, who it is and the amount, just so the audience can know.
Yeah, let's go to the next one. We'll do it then.
Okay.
Any other questions? Machine's open. And the resolution passes 6-1 with a no vote coming from District 8. Move to 6RR, an ordinance to amend the General Fund 2013 Operating Expenditure Budget, Legal Judgments Department, line item judgments and damages, Roberta Ward versus Plaquemines Parish Government, otherwise to provide respect thereto. Mr. Edgecombe, are you offering? Do we have a second? Second by Dr. Gouy. I'm sorry, Ms. Cooper. He's a little quick over here. Mr. Edgecombe, I believe this is to settle a claim for $2,500.
$500 court cost, am I correct, Mr. Mario?
Yes, sir. The amount to settle the case is for $2,000, and the 500 would be any filing fees and costs associated with the parish. Each party to bear its own cost.
Any other comment or question? Machine's open. And the resolution passes the ordinance passes 6-1 with a no vote coming from District 8.
Thank you, Council.
Mr. Griffin, 6TT? I'm sorry. No, it's not. It's $2,500. It should be $2,500. It's listed every other spot but there. We don't need to revote this, do we? Just a typo, okay. But let's note to fill in that blank, y'all, on this line under amendment $2,500. Mr. Griffin, 6TT. You ready? An ordinance authorizing and directing the parish president to purchase 2 small excavators to be used in the flood control department, otherwise to provide respect thereto. Mr. Griffin, you offering?
Yes, I offer when I made some changes on line 5.
And it shows that, that changes will be, you've added, I'm gonna read it all out. Whereas we are now in hurricane season, there are various drainage concerns. You put on the east bank and within the parish. That is your change, sir, which needs to be addressed. That's your only changes? Okay. So with that, you're offering, I'll second.
I offer.
Mr. Griffin?
It speaks for itself. Let's move.
Any comment or questions? Mr. Lott, you got anything you want to weigh in on with us? This something we need?
I'm sorry?
What did you do? Oh, you were sleeping again? This is about the 2 small excavators. Is this something we need for the flood control department?
Yes, sir. We need medium size.
This says small.
We need medium.
What do we do here? Can we not, these are not
Yeah.
needed?
Offer with a change.
What would the cost for the medium size?
I think we gave you the price for the mediums.
Okay, so round out,
Just
that'd
change
be what?
the wordage from small to medium.
Okay, let me stop. I'm removing my second. Can we defer this and try to get this worded correctly? Mr. Griffin, do you have a problem with that? Okay, let's defer 6TT until we get all the language correct on it, and we'll bring it back in, okay? 6UU will be deferred. Six VV is gonna be the same thing, Mr. Griffin, we're gonna defer that one also? Okay. 6WW will be deferred. 6XX will be deferred. 6YY is going to be offered with changes. 1, 2, 3. Byron, yes, he's that late. Hang on, y'all. Hang on a second. Almost done. What's the change? We have a funding source. Funding source. funding source.
Mr.
Where are
Chairman.
we adding that at?
Do we have that project? Do we have a copy of that project? I'm looking at section 1.
Yeah, I've been having it, I know I have. That's a year and a half old. It's been a while. What are you gonna do here? Okay. Let me reread this. An ordinance authorizing and directing the parish president to initiate and implement Phase 1 of the Plaquemines Parish General Aviation Airport Project, appropriating $208,095 to the Plaquemines Parish General Aviation Airport Project, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. The change we're going to make is on line 32. We're going to list after project funding source sewer fund. And with that, I'll offer and ask for a second. Second by Dr. Gui. This, from what I understand, has something that they've been working on quite some time, looking at it in different areas of the parish, probably for the past 20 years. And we're looking at some areas toward the mid part of the parish or upper part of the parish. We've got quite a few people in the parish that are looking to bring aircraft in and that own aircraft, and this might bring additional tourism dollars, capital improvement dollars or something. This is something we have worked on with the Regional Planning Commission. Mr. Walter Brooks has given us a briefing on this, and I think this is something that would probably be a wise move on our part and a good investment for the parish. Do we have any comments or questions? Mr. Turner?
The legislation is a little confusing to me in that the first whereas, and not only the first whereas, but mainly the first whereas, the Plaquemines Parish government in association with the New Orleans Regional Planning Committee completed a general aviation feasibility study to determine the potential demand and possibility site for a general aviation airport in Plaquemines Parish, and that study found sufficient latent demand currently exists for the development of such facility. When I first looked at this, somehow I got it mixed up, and I was looking at it as
So did I, I'm not gonna lie.
as though the money was to, to do a study to firm up whether or not this was a viable project or location. And so I wasn't reading it correctly. I don't understand the plan. I haven't even seen the plan. I'm hearing some of you say that it's online and that we were given it, it was communicated a year ago, but I honestly haven't seen it. And so what concerns me is the parish president is hereby authorized and directed to initiate and implement Phase 1. I don't know what that Phase 1 is. Had a brief conversation with the parish president this week, and he briefly mentioned about the airport. And again, in my mind, I was thinking to investigate it or study. And so I'm not prepared, personally, to vote for it because I don't know what, and I'm not a showstopper, but I just, I'm just telling you my position on it. I was looking at it differently.
Dr. Gui, you want to weigh in on this?
Yeah, when the study was done, GCR was one of the people on the project. The study analyzed sites, and it was just a study to show what sites would possibly be feasible. Of those sites, Southern Seaplane was one of the sites. I think Fort Jackson was a site, but the site that came up at the top of the list was the Lake Hermitage site. And the Lake Hermitage site is just south of Lake Hermitage in some of the Citrus Lands property, some of it formerly owned by Citrus Lands, some presently owned by Citrus Lands. And the site, the way the airport was configured, it was configured on a 7,200-foot runway in order to get the jets that the study determined would be most feasible from they talked about the fishing industry, they talked about the oil and gas industry. What this does, it further analyzes as to the environmental concerns of those sites and the financing that would be needed, along with finding potential clients to make that happen. Since that time, the port has looked at that study, and we also added to that the possibility of a port-related business in conjunction with that site. The location at Lake Hermitage, which we felt would be ideal, but, you know, which comes first, the airport or the port. So as it stands right now, it looks like the best site. Further implementation of that study would help us determine if, in fact, it is a site that warrants consideration. So the study itself, we were all given a pamphlet, and it's, like I said, it was some time ago. But if you want to see the site, you can go online and just Google in Plaquemines Parish Airport Study, and all of the information is there. So the problem we've had in not bringing this up earlier is the funding source, and apparently our chairman and Mr. Nungesser have come to some agreement as to the funding source, and I hope we can get the votes to let this make this pass.
Well, Mr. Chairman, you finished? You know, myself, you know, I would not support this, and I don't think we need to be in the airport business. You see, we don't need to be in certificate business, we don't need to be in the airport business. You know, they talked about 25-some years ago when they wanted to put the airport down here. You know, I don't see who gonna monitor it. You know, you got air traffic control. We so close to the Gulf, you got all these little issues, but these little small airplanes that come in here. Who gonna monitor it?
Let me say something, Mr. Griffin. I'm going to go ahead and stop this right now. I think we've got some serious questions here. You know, as Mr. Turner mentioned earlier, there was a study. Ms. Cooper went so far, it sounds a little facetious, but she's even asking, are we studying the study? And I couldn't even give her a real answer. So I'm going to go ahead and defer this one for today, and I'm going to ask the administration to come back in and get us copies of what we have done and see what we have is viable. Mr. Turner, you got something?
I'd like to ask Mr. Gould one question. It won't be long drawn out. I want to make sure I heard him correctly. I'm sure he can clear it up for me. Mr. Gould, I thought while you were speaking, you said this would further implement the study, or would we still be doing another study, or would we be implementing what has been studied? Clear me up on.
Yeah,
I want to make sure I didn't fully understand you.
Yeah, I think that what you're asking is very good, because the implementation phase, what they're doing is taking the study, the information that they've gotten, and seeing where would be a feasible location to implement. Now, what are the costs? What are the environmental problems? To me, some of that is a study.
Right, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, exactly right. But gathering any information is really a study, so it's just a play on words. I think, you know, let it defer and let the administration come back and crystallize it a little bit.
Mr. Chair,
It's not going to hurt.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gould, I didn't mean to walk on you like that. But if it's the study, my part was going ahead and implementing it. If we're doing just the study, gathering more, then I'm more inclined to support it. But just to approve implementing something and not being familiar with it, then that's the part that concerns me.
This is what I understand. Correct me if I'm wrong. The original study was a conjunctive effort between Regional Planning Commission and Plaquemines government to decide if an airport in general was needed or warranted in any way, shape, or form. Am I correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now we're looking at more of a site selection type process and determine where we should put one, not if we should put one, because it says here that we obviously have a need for an airport. And it would be something that would help us in many different ways, capital improvement projects, tourism, whatever. This is more of a site selection type study. Am I correct?
And to answer Mr. Griffin, I agree with him. With some things, I don't think parish government ought to operate any type of enterprise such as this. And I don't think that's the intent. The intent is to put it out there, and then you would have people in the aviation business to come in as operators. Anytime any government gets into business, the business is going to lose money. And so you take the private sector to come in and make it happen in conjunction with government. And that's just my thoughts on it. We're not even to that point yet. And we're not going to get to that point if we don't approve this. But let's give it a few weeks and see what happens.
Let's do that. Dr. Gouy, I agree. I'm sorry, Ms. Cooper.
And I'm not against it, but I'm asking that we defer it so we can look into it more, because if we had a study done, why didn't the study suggest a proper site? Why do we have to put up this money to do a study of a study?
And
to
you're
determine
right,
where the property?
it sounds facetious, but you're right, it's a study of a study.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
So let's
maybe
do
we
this.
can defer it, we all go over the study, see what the study says phase 1 is.
Yes, ma'am.
And come
Yeah,
back.
let's get a copy of all the information we have. I'd ask the administration if y'all could to, compile a little packet for each of us before next meeting. Try not to drop it on us on Thursday morning, and see if we can have something during the week that we can look. It happens all the time, Ms. Janice. I'm saying you do it, but it happens. If y'all could drop something on us in the next few days, it would give us time to digest it and look at it and see if we can get this done. Okay? And with that, 6YY will be deferred.
Mr. Chairman, can we go back to introduction, if you don't mind?
Can the 6ZZ will be done? Okay. I got one left. Energy transmission pole relocation on the other side of the river. What? Okay. Let's go to 6ZZ. An ordinance to amend the 5-year capital improvements plan for the East Bank back levee energy transmission pole relocation project, and otherwise will provide respect thereto. Mr. Griffin, you're offering. There's a lot of blanks in here, Mr. Griffin. Do we have numbers for those blanks?
Yes, line 4, put 200,000.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Why are we paying for energy to relocate poles?
I'm gonna direct those
Poles
questions
currently
to Mr.
are in our levee system, the non-federal levee on the east bank of Plaquemines, and Entergy is going to do a temporary repair to the deteriorating poles that's inside of our levee system, in the levee. They're not going to pay to remove them from the levee, but they'll give us the engineering and design to do it. So
And the
this-
Corps not either.
And the Corps is not either, because it's not a federal levy.
So this is our responsibility?
This is our responsibility. It is a weak point in the East Bank non-federal levy, sir.
Okay. $200,000 on line 4.
Yes, sir. $200,000 on line 9. And on line 10, insert transfer from line replacement breakway to Phoenix project. And with those corrections,
And funding source is?
transfer from line replacement breakway to Phoenix project.
Okay, thank you, sir. And with that, you're offering, Mr. Griffin? Okay, I'm going to second. Mr. Griffin?
Okay, I think Mr. Williams just explained what we need, so I'm ready to move on it.
Okay. Okay. So this is not something Energy would pay for, or the Corps?
That is correct. They will not pay for it. And we've met with Entergy and
And
the
we need to
Corps.
get this done to get the levee work done?
Absolutely, immediately. We currently have a contractor that's working on that reach, and this was not part of his contract. When this study was, not the study, I'm sorry, when this work came out about that plat or exactly mile marker 234, it was to leave it in place and build around it. But after the last incident or storm, it deteriorated even more and caused a huge scour in that area. And the poles are very much dilapidated.
Okay, you offering, I'm going to second. Any other comment or question?
Mr. Williams, will Entergy be doing the work, or will we get another vendor. I'm thinking it would be cheaper if we paid Entergy to do the work. I would think that would be the best way to go as opposed to just another private contractor.
The contractor that we currently have a contract with will do the dirt work and the removal. The additional funds, we'll use that to work along with Entergy to make sure that the engineering and design and that we're following the proper track and following the guidelines of Entergy because it is their transmission line and we have to follow their direction.
I guess where I'm going with it is instead of us paying a consultant or
no consultant will be paid. This is strictly for the development of the project and pay for the consultant that we have working for us is Mr. Jerry Satterley, who's working on the back levy, and this was a recommendation by him, and he has been in talks with Mr. Jimmy Schuler from Entergy, and this is the recommendation that has come up.
But this $200,000, is that going to Entergy or this?
No, it's going
company?
Towards the project, not to Entergy, towards the project.
Which means it's going to that third-party company as opposed to Entergy.
That is correct.
And what I'm saying is, I think Entergy would just as well manage just for a fee as far as their power lines. They would manage it, so that would reduce our cost.
The actual cost is $170. We put the extra 30 in there for any unforeseen because this is about 20 feet or 30 feet into our levee system. So once they start digging, we may find some unforeseen. But Entergy will be on board and be there as we're doing this because this is their line.
And I guess what I'm getting at, we don't want to pay for any we don't want to pay a third-party company for any engineering as to where the lines should go. Entergy should be managing that for us with the amount of business we give them.
Entergy will be on hand, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any other comments or questions? Machine's open. Yeah. I want to vote no. Okay, CZ passes 7-0. We had 6 aye, and at Mr. Turner's request, we're going to defer that one for right now. We want to move back to introductions, you said, Mr. Griffin?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
A resolution establishing a date, time, and place for the 2013 mid-year budget review of the 2013 operating budget and on the proposed capital improvement budget covering a period of at least 5 years as submitted by the parish president. Authorizing the council secretary to publish notice of these hearings in the official journal and otherwise to provide respect thereto.
Mr. Bean, go ahead, sir.
A resolution approving the acceptance of a capital outlay act of appropriation by the state of Louisiana for the Belle Chase Parks planning and construction. FP&C project number 50-J38-12-03 in the amount of $100,000 and authorizing Parish President William Billy Nungesser to sign all documents and act on behalf of the Plaquemines Parish in all matters pertaining to this project and otherwise to provide respect thereto.
Thank you, Mr. Lepine. Anything else? Mr. Griffin, you was going to ask for suspension of rules, I believe you told me earlier?
Yes, sir. We'll have a suspension of the rules for resolution.
Okay, I'll second that. You need to read it.
A resolution scheduling an audit and investigative public hearing before the Plaquemines Parish Council on July 11, 2013 at 1 p.m. to report on the status of the development of the plans and specification for the demolition and cleanup of the Point LaHatch Courthouse site, the status of the demolition and removal of the 1960s era jailhouse with the intent to salvage and restore those materials from the 1870 historical jail for possible future use. The status of the demolition and removal of the north and south wings of the former courthouse and stabilization and retention of the bell tower and walls of the original courthouse measuring approximately 55 by 70 feet, as well as the facade of the courthouse and sidewalls. The status of the request for proposal for professional engineer and architectural services to design, build, and renovate as needed the old courthouse in Point LaHatch, Louisiana, the parish seat, including the reconstruction of a portion of the old courthouse as a museum, in accordance with the plans and specifications provided and prepared by Providence Engineering and Environmental Group, LLC, including but not limited to the planned utilization of all salvageable structure and materials previously incorporated into the old courthouse, and to authorize the council chairman to issue any and all requested subpoenas and subpoenas dues, them for the appearance of any parish administrative personnel and a representative of Providence Engineering and Environmental Group, LLC, and any other person to appear, testify, and produce any and all documents pertaining to the above and foregoing, all pursuant to Section 4.01B of the Plaquemines Parish Charter, and otherwise to provide respect thereto.
Mr. Griffin, you're offering?
Yes, sir, I offer.
I'll second. This is for suspension of rules only. Ms. Marler? The rules are suspended, 7-0. Reread.
Yes, sir. As you all know, we voted on some.
You want, I'll do it real quick. Okay, I'm just going to read it for you real quick. Resolution scheduling, ordering an investigative public hearing before the Plaquemines Parish Council on July 11, 2013 at 1 p.m. to report on the status of the development of plans and specs for the demolition and cleanup of the Point Lash courthouse site, status of demolition and removal of the 1960s era jailhouse with the intent to salvage and restore those materials from the 1870 historic jail for possible future use, status of demolition and removal of north and south wings of the former courthouse, the stabilization and retention of the bell tower walls of the original courthouse measuring approximately 55 by 70 feet, as well as the facade of the courthouse and side walls, the status of the request for proposals for professional engineering, architectural services to design, build, and renovate as needed, the old courthouse of Point Lahash, Louisiana, the parish seat, including the reconstruction of a portion of the old courthouse as a museum, in accordance with the plans and specs provided and prepared by Providence Engineering and Environmental Group, LLC, including but not limited to the plans utilization of all salvageable structures and materials previously incorporated into the old courthouse, and to authorize the council chairman to issue any and all requisite subpoenas and subpoenas duces taken for the appearance of any parish administrative personnel, any representative of Providence Engineering and Environmental Group, LLC, and any other persons to appear, testify, and produce any and all documents pertaining to the above and foregoing, all pursuant to Section 401B of the Plaquemines Parish Charter, and otherwise to provide respect thereto. Mr. Griffin, you're offering?
I'll offer.
I'm going to second. Mr. Griffin?
In my opinion, has been filibustered around with us for over a year. These projects was approved by the council, and Providence was awarded the contract. Providence has submitted documentation to us on their finding, and contract has not been offered. Now, you've asked the administration for an update on status of what's going on, and you can't get no reliable answer or an answer. So somebody is either, I don't want to say them words after I promise I would not use them words, but somebody is messing around with us. I don't know who it is. I'm just going to say somebody at the top maybe, but somebody is doing us some unjust, and all it does is boil down to not giving us the full status. So hopefully we issue these subpoenas, and we put them before the council and before the general public, and give the people, give us a justification of why you haven't finalized contracts, or what's the status? Where is it? Where are we going with it? It don't take another year to do this. This should be done at the next council meeting. I've been getting a lot of phone calls. I've been getting a lot of emails from the general public in reference to the administration lack of, I don't want to say interest, but a lack of cooperation with the council and why they haven't done the things that we've ordered them to do over the past several months and years. So something has to be done, and maybe this is going to be a tool to get them to open up their eyes, open up their ears, and come forward and tell us exactly where we are on these projects.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. I'd like to weigh on this also. I did have some conversation with Mr. Nungesamy and Mr. Edgecombe last night. I was assured that some RFPs will be going out very soon, like within the next week or so. If that's the case, fine, we won't need this legislation. But I will note I misspoke, I think, at the last meeting. I'd like to offer an apology to the judges because the judges have actually been very supportive, and I used the word judiciary inaccurately. So I would like to note when I said judiciary, what I was meaning to say was the district attorney's office, because I still have, and I'm going to be quite honest about it, the clerk of court's office, the district attorneys, several other parish-wide elected leaders do not want this courthouse built. They have never wanted this courthouse built. And there's a lot of people in the room. Dr. Gouy was on one side of this, Mr. Peen was too, and so was I. But we all have a gentleman's agreement amongst us that we were going to go forward with the project, whatever came through at the last vote. And we've had that support. But it's been a lot of back scenes wrangling. I have no problem saying this to anybody in the room because I told these same people to their face that I know what they're doing. They're trying to stonewall us behind their back. So if Mr. Nungas is good on his word, I'm going to take him at face value. Hopefully this is all for naught. We will not need subpoenas. If it doesn't done in the next 2 weeks, these subpoenas will be issued and we will move forward with this courthouse project whether anybody likes it or not, because it's out of their hands. And the way the bond has been written, even though it was tried to be explained to me different, I had 5 sets of lawyers go through it. I read it myself 8 times. And I can promise you that this council is in full control of this budget. And I don't appreciate that we have parish leaders that are having us accrue $130,000 a month interest on this bond because they refuse to move forward and abide by the people's wishes after the 4th vote. So I am going to support you on this, and I'm going to ask the council to do the same.
You know, about 5 or 6 weeks ago, Mr. Nungas and I was at the changing of the guards for the Corps engineer in New Orleans. And I asked him that question, where are we on the RFP? He said it should be ready in about a week and a half. That was 5 6 weeks ago. So how long does it take to do an RFP? I mean, I don't know, but I don't think it takes that long, you know. And just to emphasize what Mr. Marinovich said, you know, we know where some of those folks stand in the judiciary system. Yeah, they want a courthouse in Belle Chase. And I think because we refuse to pass resolution or resolution or order to give them the $4 million that they need to do what they want to do in Belle Chase, this is a way of getting back at us. And I think if we allow these people to separate us from what we try to do, then they're going to stagnate our progress. We as a council need to unify ourselves on these things and stand together, stand tall, stand tough, and let the administration know you're not going to BS on these projects. These projects have been voted upon. The people have spoke, as he said. So let's move it. The Pont-La-Hatch is the county seat. It's not in Belle Chase. It's not in West Pont-La-Hatch. It's in the east bank of the Mississippi River. And let's do what the people say.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. Anyone else? Further comment or question?
Councilman Marinovich, Mario Arteaga, Legal Department. Just a few comments to Councilman Griffin. As I told him previously, the Legal Department has been trying to put together some type of RFQ packet to advertise for. The problem that I explained to Councilman Griffin is the wording in the last ordinance says to request for proposals for professional engineering, architectural services to design, build, and renovate. And as you all know, to build and renovate requires the parish to go out for public bids, whereas the engineering company would be strictly for designing. That we can go out for an RFQ for an engineering company. And like I told Councilman Griffin, we're still on the phase of trying to stabilize the bell tower and tearing down the wing walls. That is what I'm assuming we're going to be going out for to bid to demolish and abate. And also this ordinance says to renovate the old courthouse.
Mr. Ortega, can I interrupt you for 1 minute?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be honest with you. Every time it looks like we're going to rebuild a cottage on the F.A. with A-Bear property, the RFQs and RFPs, there's no question about it. It's done within a week. Before I can even get the contract in my hand, it's done. This has been stonewalled for 12 years. This has gone through 4 votes and an Attorney General opinion, and frankly, I'm quite sick and tired of it, and so is the rest of this parish. And I'm going to tell you something that's been quite divisive amongst everybody in the parish. You got an East Bank versus West Bank, North versus South issue. I think we can put this behind us and do whatever we need to do to get this done and put this behind us and start pouring some concrete on the side of the river. I've frankly quite had enough of it. At the point now, I don't know if we need to file a lawsuit. I will remind you and anybody else is involved that the bond is written that I, the vice chairman and the rest of this council has full control of these monies, and we fully intend to build this courthouse. And I'll tell anybody in this parish, parish leaders, all citizens, this is going to get done, and I want to see some concrete poured before the end of the year. So somebody can step up to the plate and do what you need to do. I don't want to hear any more excuses of why something isn't worded correctly, because every time something else wants to get done, it's not a problem. But every time we on this courthouse, it's another problem. It's another problem. And I'm tired of this 12 years worth of problems.
Yes,
It's one of
sir.
the reasons I ran for office. I'm not trying to chastise you.
No, I
because
can,
it's
I
long before you
appreciate your
stepped on board,
frustration.
too.
I appreciate
So I
your
just wanna say
frustration.
that.
I can understand it, and like I said, I personally have been trying to review the 4 or 5 ordinances that were passed and the phases to try to make some sense of it on what to do next. But it's definitely being worked on by the legal department.
And we're trying to do this in a good fashion because we want to work along with the judiciary, the DA, the assessor, clerk of court, or whatever. But if we don't have cooperation for them, then we'll design something on our own. We can do this on our own without anybody's help. We don't need permission or help from anybody, any other agency in this parish. The council has full control of this now. That's where the bond is written and has been passed. And I will fully remind everybody of that. If they're willing to step on board, we welcome their help and assistance in designing and building this facility. And if not, then they can step to the side and watch it get built.
That's what I feel, you know, because I mean, we extend a courtesy to those folks to allow them to come and give us some advice of what they want. But again, it's not Burger King. Sometimes you can't have it your way. You know, you got to take it the way you get it. And then you come to Parlor Hatch. They want to drive the Bell Chase to Parlor Hatch, fine. They don't want to drive the Breakfast from Bell Chase to Parlor Hatch. They'll continue to do what they're going. But then we're not going to pay 2 bills. We're not paying light bill in Bell Chase and light bill in Parlor Hatch for the same people. So come on down to Parlor Hatch and enjoy it. We got nice food down here.
And I'm going to also add that, you know, we offered before the last vote, and I'm still, you know, willing to try to accommodate. I do understand that most of the population lives in Bell Chase. It may be convenient for the people from Buras and Venice to go to Bell Chase and get something done. That's okay. But by constitutional law, state law, court, parish proceedings as far as this council has to be held in this courthouse, in this area. So with that, that's the last I'm going to say about this. Hopefully, Mr. Nungas will keep his word that he gave to Mr. Edgecombe last night, that there'll be some RFPs issued within the next week or so, and me and Mr. Griffin has wasted our breath today. If not, please expect subpoenas or anything else we need, because we will take action on this. Do we have any further comment or question about this? Hearing none, the machine's open. Thank you. Have a unanimous vote of 7-0. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Do we have any new business before the council? Public comments regarding Hurricane Isaac? Mr. Turner, do we have anything? Okay. Update and presentation of District 6?
None at this time.
Thank you, sir. C, we're going to hold on, Mr. Griffin? C, we're gonna defer for right now. What? So what do we do? Sorry for confusion, ladies and gentlemen. Item 7C will be withdrawn. I'm sorry.
I don't think we have that option according to the charter. Mr. Chairman, and let me look at it a second. On page 18 of the charter, and I'll remind you, Mr. Chairman, you make the final say on a point of order.
Show me what you find.
Give me the opportunity to show it to
Yeah,
you.
sure.
Mr. Gore is correct under Section 6, Article 6 ordinances. Letter C, an ordinance or item of appropriation vetoed, well, let me do it for the audience.
Okay, go ahead.
An ordinance or an item of appropriation vetoed by the parish president shall be presented together with a written statement stating the reason or reasons for the veto to the parish council by the secretary of the parish council. Should the parish council then or at its next regular meeting adopt a measure or action by an affirmative vote of at least 2/3 of its entire membership, it shall become effective at 12:01 a.m. on the next calendar day or at some later date as provided in such ordinance or item of appropriation.
But I don't see a prohibition here where he can't withdraw it. He can withdraw it if he wants to. And actually, to be honest about it, we're looking at some options because we were concerned about liability. I've got some councilmen concerned about that. We're also concerned about, you doing private service, public monies, and Mr. Griffin said,
Let me just state this, Mr. You gentlemen are the same, but the bottom line is I don't want to lose this, because this is going to enhance the quality of what's going on for the people. So what I'm going to do is withdraw it. We're going to work it together, and we're coming back at the next council meeting. This thing is not finished. I'm going to let you know now it's not finished. But the legal department is going to look at a program that Jefferson Parish did. They're doing the same thing in Jefferson Parish, but we're going to copy the same language in there and put it in your, we're not giving nobody no excuse, but we can't do this, can't do that because of liability. It ain't about liability, it's about they just don't want to do it. They did it in 2006 free. At least we putting the price tag on it for $150. But I'm not going to leave no loopholes. I'm going to make sure that the proper language is in this thing so when it comes before the council 2 weeks, I don't want to have none of my peers say I can't support it. So do it right. I'm going to do it right, and I'm looking for your vote.
No, and I'm going to agree with that because I agree that right now it's mostly an East Bank issue and a small portion of the West Bank has been afflicted by the hurricane immediately. But this is something, like I've been working on this Bigger Waters thing a lot, and this is something that's going to affect everybody in the parish before it's done with. So this is something we do need to address. It's probably the most important thing that we have affecting the parish. And I think everybody realizes that. So with that,
Mr. Chairman, wait, on a point of order, the point that I want to emphasize to you is, I believe it's the second statement in under C, should the parish council then or at its next regular meeting. I don't think it gives us two options. When we first get the letter, we can respond to it and veto it. We can deal with the veto then. And the only other option you have, we don't get 2 and 3, 4 bites at the apple, is at the next regular meeting. And this is the next regular meeting. Because I can tell you, the lawyer will bring it up.
Let me read.
So if we defer it or withdraw it, unless I'm missing it, I'm just trying to save us.
Let me just read it. Louis, maybe I'm wrong. Let me just ask this question. It's saying, should we adopt it? And if we withdraw it, we can't adopt it.
And this ordinance dies, or rather, the veto kills it, but the veto becomes effective once this meeting passes, because today is the last day. But that doesn't prevent you from coming up with a whole new proposal to do a different procedure to provide for elevation certificates.
And
that's what we're going to work on.
That's you and Mr. Griffin's intent, if I understand.
I agree. That would take a completely separate introduction. But I just didn't want anybody thinking that we can defer or deal with this veto later.
No,
This is the
you're
only
right, you're
day
right, no.
you can deal with it,
You
is
you
right now.
you granted that, I understand, no, we allowing this veto to stand by withdrawing this. But Mr. Griffiths assured me, and Mr. Grunts is willing to work with him, and Mr. Rathburn, and come up with an answer to this in the long run, and I do think it needs to be done. But your
That's
point
Mr.
of order is
Griffin's-
granted, you're correct
Mr.
about that.
Mr. Griffin's choice.
Withdrawal? Thank you, sir. I think the last item we have, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm not mistaken, is approval of minutes of, we can take these in globo, 8A, March 14, 2013, council meeting, and 8B, March 15, 2013, special council meeting. I'll offer and ask for a second. Seconded by Mr. Lapine. Do you have any comment or question about these? Machine is open. And they are adopted 6-0. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If we have no further business, entertain a motion to adjourn. Seconded by Mr. Lapine. Machine is open. You ready? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The meeting is adjourned at 4:37.
I'd like to call a meeting of the Plaquemines Port Harbor and Terminal District to order. Machine is open for roll call.
Thank you.
I'll let the record reflect it's 7 members present. Council members Hinckley and Burris are not in attendance. We will dispense with the roll call, with the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm not drinking your water, Bo.
I'm just checking on you. It's like you about to die over there.
We will dispense with the status report by the Port Director at the request of the Port Director. No bids and advertisements, introduction of ordinances and resolutions. Anything? Mr. Griffin, none?
No, sir.
Anything? We'll move to item 6A. Item 6A will be deferred. I sent an email explaining my reasons for that earlier. We'll move to item 6B. Resolution opposing any freshwater sediment diversion project in and affecting Plaquemines Port Harbor and Terminal District until scientific evidence is presented to support in fact that these structures will not significantly alter the flow of the Mississippi River with regards to the safe navigation thereof, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. I will offer.
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilmember Marinovich. Earlier, as we were sitting as the Plaquemines Council, we voiced our concerns over the State Master Plan's proposal for large freshwater and sediment diversions, based on the fact that although there was a lot of talk on both sides of the equation, there was no scientific data to actually give us the information we needed to make a decision whether to support or not support those projects. The same thing follows through with the port, and we are concerned about the flow of the river. We know that in 2014, a study is expected to be completed, and that should give us some results and give us more information as to which way we may want to go in regards to that. Mr. Pennison has been on this on a daily basis, and he may have some comments to.
Good afternoon, John Pennison, Deputy Port Director, Plaquemines Port Harbor Terminal District. Dr. Gouy pretty much covered it all. This was co-authored. I had help from the Big River Coalition, Mr. Sean Duffy, in the preparation of this resolution. And basically what it is saying that we want to take our time, and before any diversions are built, that the scientific hydrology study for the lower Mississippi River is completed before any of these diversions are built. It's not that we're saying we are opposed to diversions, it's just that we're asking, let's get this scientific study done before we start building the diversions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pennison. Any questions from any council members? audience? Anyone? Machine is open. And the resolution is approved 7-0. Next, we'll move to item 6C, a resolution authorizing the Port Chairman, Stuart J. Gouy, Ford, on behalf of the Plaquemines Port Harbor and Terminal District, to name and accept the proposal of the Plaquemines Parish Gazette as the official journal for the Plaquemines Parish Council as the sole governing authority of the Plaquemines Port Harbor and Terminal District, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. I'll offer, ask for a second.
I'll second.
Seconded by Mr. Griffin. As you know, the governance structure of the port, having gone through the changes that we went through last year, we need to have an official journal to advertise our minutes. The process, the way it's written, we have to have a newspaper that's published within the parish, and this is the sole newspaper published. So we're following suit with what we did on the parish government side. I'll answer any questions. Anyone in the audience? Machine is open.
Is that legal?
And the resolution is approved, 7-0. Under new business, does anyone at the table have any new business for the port?
Dr. Gouy, I just have one comment if I could. I don't know if everyone in the room knows, we had a little issue this past Father's Day. A ship had lost some steering and struck the bottom part of the levee just in Buras. I want to thank Mr. Pennison, Fire Department in Buras, Sheriff's Department, the Pilots Association, Great Lakes Dredging, Coast Guard. Everybody was on the scene as promptly as possible, gave their full cooperation. There were no injuries, no damage to the vessel, from what I understand. They're still looking at the investigating, I'm sure, but it seems to be a steering problem. The pilot did a commendable job of making sure that there was no great damage, you know, to the vessel or any injuries. It looks to be there's probably going to be probably some damage to the bottom of the levee, to the revetment part. That'll probably be addressed. Mr. Pennison?
Thank you, Councilmember Marinovich, for your kind words and the response. Yes, there was some damage to the revetment. The Corps was on scene the following Monday to investigate. I don't know the extent of the damage. I hadn't been informed of that. Just as a point of information, approximately 5,400 ships entered the Mississippi River last year, so incidences are going to occur. If you do the math, that's 5,400 in, 5,400 out, or 10,800 ships transit the port on a yearly basis. If you just have 1/10 of 1%, you're looking at 10 incidences in a given year. So to echo your words, I think the pilot aboard that vessel needs to be complimented for the way he handled the situation. He got the ship under control and anchored as soon as possible. And unfortunately, incidents such as this are going to happen on the greater Mississippi River. And again, thank you for your kind words.
But I just wanted to note, even without radios, it's been removed from our use. It was some pretty quick cooperation between parish president, Port Authority, and all parties involved, private and public entities. And I want to thank y'all and commend everybody involved.
Thank you.
Any other new business? Move to item 8, approval of the minutes of March 14, 2013. Any comments?
I'll second them.
Seconded by Mr. Marinovich. The machine is open. And the minutes are approved 7-0, including Mr. Lapine.
I'll make a motion.
Entertain a motion. Motion to adjourn by Mr. Marinovich, seconded by Mr. Griffin. Machine is open.
I believe the Point Lahash Ferry is operational at this time.
Thank you, sir. Did you go work on the road?
And the meeting is adjourned at 4:45, 7-0, and